9-5 record. Stepping on to take on Greyson Clark, the sophomore, with a 9-6 record. Clark, the 27th ranked wrestler in the country at 141 pounds.
Yeah, Clark got a nice boost in his ranking after beating Chris Cannon last Friday night. His first top 10 win of his career. This true sophomore for the Boilermakers out of Wrightstown, Wisconsin. This is a man who's wrestling really well for Purdue, and the Boilermakers need a good performance out of here tonight to have a shot at this duel.
Clark and Porter underway here now at 141 pounds. Indiana getting 5 points in the team score at 133 pounds, so they lead 5-4 here. Greyson Clark shooting single, but not a good position as Porter is not allowing the takedown. Clark drops his hip down to the mat, trying to take Porter down, but great balance there by Porter.
Yeah, it is. The closer Clark gets to the edge, the better it gets for Porter. As Clark tries dragging that toe to get control, the entire Purdue bench yells free. The official disagrees, and I side with him. They'll come back neutral.
2:20 and counting here in period number 1. Match 3 of 10 here this evening. In-state rivalry between the Hoosiers and the Boilermakers. Just joining us here this evening, a great crowd at Mackey Arena. The entire lower bowl is full here, out supporting the Hoosiers or the Boilermakers. Both of these wrestlers kind of feeling each other out here, a little bit of a stalemate, and they are going to stand them back up here.
Break the lock and get that restart.
Clark trying to pull Porter in, but Porter's doing a nice job of keeping Clark away from his legs. High crotch from Clark as he's trying to avoid the three-point takedown.
Clark looked really slow in that response. It was a nice job by Porter. Clark's reaction time was extremely slow.
Indiana's coaching staff hollering at the referee, looking for the three. Still even, no points awarded yet. And a stalemate. They will stand the two wrestlers up. Indiana assistant coach Mike Dixon not happy with that. Mike Dixon also joined by CJ Redd, the assistant coaches of the Hoosiers, part of Angel Escobedo's staff. And Henry Porter says, "I'll take that one," the three-point takedown. Under a minute to go, period number 1.
Porter's been a little bulldog out there. He just keeps attacking and got a little bit too aggressive.
2-point reversal for Greyson Clark. Both wrestlers are back up again. Clark with a nice move there on that reversal.
Porter, a 5th place finish at the Navy Classic early in the season. He got 2nd at the Sheridan tournament out at Lehigh back in late December.
Clark tries shooting a single again, but Porter with the sprawl, and now a front chancery holding him down near the mat. Porter trying to get some leverage, looking for the leg, but time will expire in period number 1. Henry Porter 4, Greyson Clark 2. You mentioned Clark looked a little slow in that first period here. We'll see if he can wake up, as he will start from the bottom, as Porter will start on top. Riding time not a factor, as Porter only has 5 seconds of ride time from that first period.
Porter's come out very aggressive. He's looked good for the Hoosiers here. He's been the one on the attacks. 3 different shot attempts in that first period.
Not giving the Boilermaker Clark an easy pass to escape. Clark trying to work there, almost got tilted. Clark working Porter with a death grip.
Boy, Clark's slippery on the bottom. He's looking for his second reversal of the match.
That's why Porter's working so hard. He felt it with that first one. Not trying to allow Clark to even this one up on 2 reversals.
Clark looking to try to slip on the back door, but Porter locks his ankles, and he will run that riding time up over a minute now.
4-2 at 141 pounds, coming up on a minute to go as Angel Escobedo not happy with the stalemate call and standing the 2 wrestlers up.
That'll be interesting to keep an eye on as the night continues. That was a pretty quick whistle on a stalemate. That's fine if that's how you're going to call it the whole evening both ways.
Porter slamming Clark back down to the mat, not allowing any breathing room for Clark. Clark to his feet, trying to break the grip of Porter, and he sits out, and he does. Clark with a great position on Porter, but Porter gets to the edge.
That's 2 times on the edge. Clark has just missed out on control.
4-3, 36 seconds to go in period number 2. An exciting matchup here at 141 pounds.
This feels like it's been a lot more one-sided than a 4-3 score. Porter's been in control. Clark has found a way to stay in it.
Well, do you think that just because Clark hasn't done it in a flashier way with the big takedown, and he's been able to get out of what Porter's been trying to set him up with?
Yeah, anytime you get a reversal instead of an escape, I mean, obviously that's an extra point, but, you know, there was a long ride out there by Porter. He just continues to shoot. A little bit less commitment on that shot late for Henry Porter.
We will end period number 2, 4-3. Henry Porter will take the 1-point advantage into period number 3, but something to keep an eye on as well, Corey. Porter also 1 minute and 21 seconds of ride time, so with this match being so contested, so closely contested, have to keep an eye on that 1 extra point at the end of this one.
No doubt about that, and you've got to think he's going to get an escape here as well as Porter jumps the whistle. It's his first caution. Get an escape here, that's 2, riding time's 3, so Clark is essentially a takedown away from an even score. That's what he needs to think right now.
So Porter up to his feet. Clark trying to keep Porter from getting that 1-point escape. And he will get the 1-point escape, does Porter. It's 5-3.
Nice slide by there by Porter. He laced a leg in and was looking for a standing takedown. Now Clark looks like he might be looking for a toss. He's got an underhook in.
Clark was able to toss Porter this place here in Mackey would go insane. A 2-point matchup here, 1 minute and 20 seconds to go, period number 3. It's been a hotly contested matchup here at 141 pounds. Wrestlers will go off the mat again, and they will stand them up mid-mat with 1 minute and 16 seconds to go. Porter still holding on to that 1 minute and 12 seconds of ride time.
Obviously, Greyson Clark needs a takedown here to have a shot in this match. If he does it and is able to run that riding time down under a minute, then he can get the win.
I was going to ask you, Greyson Clark's going to need a takedown if he's going to want to win this matchup here.
Absolutely.
Under a minute to go, 5-3. Clark trying to get positioning here. Referee hollering something at the 2 wrestlers on the mat here. Porter shoots, nice sprawl there by Clark. Clark's gonna try to set it up himself. Both wrestlers getting close to the edge of the mat one more time. Porter backing Clark down. Clark has 1 leg. Trying to get him turned. They're gonna call him off the mat and reset. We've seen it a couple times over near the Indiana bench. Now near the Purdue bench, the Boilermaker faithful not happy about that reset as Clark was in a good spot. 24 seconds to go here. 2-point lead for Henry Porter. Clark needing a takedown. Has good positioning.
You know, it's the correct call. It's a bad break. 4 different times tonight. It's the correct call. They're out of bounds at every point.
15 seconds to go, still 5-3. Clark needing the takedown. Clark shoots, in a good position, not going to be able to get the leg. Under 10 seconds to go. Three-point takedown would take the match here. Trying to take him down, the crowd wants it. And time will expire, they're gonna say 1 second on the clock.
No, he's awarding the riding time point.
He is awarding the riding time point, So it is Henry Porter getting the 6-3 victory over Greyson Clark at 141 pounds. What a hard-fought victory for Ryan Garvik for the Hoosiers, the freshman, 3-7 this season. A tough task as he steps on the mat against Joey Blaze, the sophomore for the Boilermakers, coming in with an 11-3 record.
Yeah, Blaze ranked number 7 in the country at 157 pounds. He got a huge bump after making the semifinals at the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invitational. He ended up losing in the semis and then injury defaulting out of the tournament, but Joey Blaze in his sophomore campaign is trying to do big things for the Boilermakers.
Only Blaze's second matchup since the Boilers wrestled at the Cliff Keen in Las Vegas. We saw him out here. He was the first man on the mat here this evening, out doing workouts, trying to get warmed up here tonight for this one, and we are underway at 157 pounds. Joey Blaze also carrying in the number 7th ranking in the country at 157 pounds.
And just to be perfectly blunt, for Purdue, they need a big result here for Blaze. The team score is not where they want it to be right now. It's shaken off really well for the Hoosiers. We'll see what Garvik can do here for IU.
8-7 is the team score. The Boilers were able to get 3 points in their last victory there. Blaze pulling Garvik back into the arena, if you will. Garvik tiptoeing. Blaze trying to get the tip. Wasn't able to get the leg out from under Garvik, and Garvik almost turned it around on Blaze.
So much strength there by Garvik on 1 foot to stay away, to keep on the edge. Blaze couldn't finish that. It would have been out of bounds. He kept dragging him back in. Garvik wouldn't have it.
Not only that, Blaze was able to get the trip. He got his foot on the leg of Garvik, and Garvik still didn't go down.
Garvik's one tough character here.
They will stand him back up near the IU bench. No points awarded yet. 1 minute and 39 seconds to go, period number 1 here at 157 pounds.
Garvik's second straight true freshman in the lineup for the Hoosiers out of Dauphine, Pennsylvania. 3-time state runner-up in the state of Pennsylvania. That is no small feat.
I was gonna say, that's a big deal.
There's Joey Blaze, state champion in the state of Ohio, back in high school at Perrysburg.
Highly touted wrestler out of high school was Joey Blaze. And you see why there as he gets the 3-point takedown. Scoring the first points of the matchup as we come upon 1 minute to go in period number 1.
Blaze, along with Greyson Clark, NCAA qualifiers as true freshmen for Purdue last year.
One of 5 Purdue Boilermakers to qualify for NCAA's last season. Blaze has a lot of promise here for Tony Ersland and the Purdue Boilermakers as the 2 wrestlers will be stood up one more time.
Garvik out here looking for his first dual meet victory. 0 for 4 on the year in that regard.
That's something you can't take advantage of, is the numbers, the records that have come in to this meet for the Hoosiers this evening are kind of deceiving. The deception coming from the Big Ten portion of this, where the 2 ranked teams that the Hoosiers have already faced this season have been dominant.
Oh, and there's also been some question throughout the lineup too. There's multiple weight classes where there's multiple guys who've gotten experience in the lineup as Angel Escobedo tries to figure out what he's got when you're relying on true freshmen, or guys coming back from redshirt. They've got a couple starters who are returning off of redshirt seasons. You're not sure exactly what you're going to get. You're still figuring it out, still shaking things out here in early January.
4-0, Joey Blaze getting the escape point. You talk about the youth of the Hoosiers, it's very similar to the blueprint that Tony Ersland has laid out, bringing in good young wrestlers and developing them as they age and go along. And Angel Escobedo trying to do something similar for the Hoosiers. As Blaze looks for the three-point takedown, already up 4-0 near the edge of the mat again. Something tells me they're going to stand him up here in a short bit.
It does have that feel, doesn't it?
And
so now that's an interesting call. Both of Blaze's feet were still in bounds. So I'm not sure why they called out of bounds in that situation.
And he did complete the movement. As you said, his feet stayed in bounds. He should have.
He made sure to keep both of his toes on both feet in the gray.
Well, and we've seen that a couple of times this season in matchups over at Holloway. Wrestlers dragging their feet to try to establish that they've made, that they have the control and they deserve the three-point takedown.
Yep. Saw Greyson Clark almost get 5 takedowns earlier, but never quite finish them.
Three-point takedown completed there for Blaze. He now bumps the lead to 7-0, coming up on 45 seconds to go, period number 2.
Also a stall warning against Garvik in that foray.
Blaze shoots the single. Garvik floats over. Blaze has a nice grip on that left leg of Garvik.
See, now Blaze released Garvik there to give up the point. Now he's got 25 seconds to score. If he doesn't, it was a pretty gross miscalculation.
Let's see how it plays out. Under 20 seconds now. Blaze holding on tight to that left leg of Garvik. Garvik trying to stand him up, and that's what will happen here is both wrestlers will stand back up. 11 seconds to go. Period number 2. Here the family of Joey Blaze sitting a couple rows behind us yelling out encouragement to their son, brother.
You mentioned, Craig, that this is just Blaze's second match back from a month off. When he injury defaulted out of Cliff Keen, it was a legitimate injury, and he missed significant time because of it. He wrestled against Northwestern last Friday, took Sunday off in the duel against Northern Illinois. So, as we can see, Blaze's wind might not quite be where he wants it to be right now. We'll see how he holds up here in the third.
Underway here in period number 3. 7-1 is the score. As you mentioned, Joey Blaze, one of those top young wrestlers for the Purdue Boilermakers, someone that Tony Ersland is going to want in the lineup down the stretch here into the Big Tens and NCAAs. Blaze trying to complete the three-point takedown. Still no call.
I just don't know how that's not a takedown.
Blaze with control.
Still hasn't given him a takedown. What? He still hasn't given a takedown on this situation. I have no idea why.
I'm not sure why either. Blaze literally has his foot off the mat, and the official is going to dock Blaze a point, a 1-point deduction for stalling. Very similar to what we saw a few minutes ago with Blaze trying to score some points on Garvik near the edge of the mat. No points were awarded.
I'm very confused by that entire situation.
Referees have been blowing the whistle as the wrestlers have gotten close to the edge of the mat this evening, but didn't see any damage there as Blaze looking for more, and he does get the three-point takedown. 10-2 now as Blaze also has secured ride time as well, coming up on 40 seconds to go. Blaze with over 2 minutes and 12 and counting seconds of ride time. Boilermakers trying to pick up consecutive wins to dropping balance at 133 to 141 pounds. 15 seconds to go. Blaze in control after some early confusion here in period number 3.
And Blaze gets hit with a stall warning for hanging on to the front headlock.
Joey Blaze will pick up the victory at 157 pounds. Oilers win the first, lose the next 2, win the next 2, and we head to halftime here inside Mackey Arena. And a closer duel, Corey, than we thought we were. Exciting matchup. This is our second ranked matchup here of the evening.
Yeah, and looking for another ranked win here against Stoney Buell.
We are underway here in the second half and kicking things off at 165 pounds.
I say another ranked win, Craig, because Lillard's won 4 straight bouts against ranked opponents.
Yeah, Lillard came out with a little bit of a bounce in his step here when he came out of the locker room here for this second half. As he looks to pick up his 5th win in a row, or 5th ranked win in a row. Buell trying to prevent that. Buell 17-13 last season. He's 10-7 here this season, 6-3 in duels. Nice job there by Lillard to control his weight and not allow Buell to tip him over.
Yeah, that was an interesting attempt there by Stoney Buell. He kind of had Lillard off balance. Tried an underhand grab on the inside of Lillard's opposite leg. Didn't work.
It didn't work, but it was fun to watch. Collar and elbow tie. Buell has scored first 12 times this season. Looking to make that number 13 against number 12, Tyler Lillard.
I mentioned the year Lillard's having. He's 0 for 2 against Stoney Buell career. They faced off twice last year. Buell got him both times, including a 2-1 victory at Big Ten championships.
Well, and that's the fun part of the Big Ten Conference being the premier wrestling conference in college wrestling, because it's iron sharpening iron as these competitive wrestling matchups happen multiple times throughout a career. As you mentioned, the 3rd time these two stepping on the mat. Whether it happens at the Big Tens or in a dual meet, it doesn't mean any less. Still no score coming up on a minute to go here in period number 1. Purdue leading Indiana 11-8 in the team score. Purdue getting 3 victories in the first half, Indiana getting 2. 2 surprising victories. Under 40 seconds to go, no score yet. Both of these wrestlers have just kind of been feeling each other out here, not looking to commit to anything here in period number 1. I'm guessing that both Angel Escobedo and Tony Ersland discussed in the locker room how important these points were here in the second half, as they will stand these wrestlers up after the stalemate.
Every bout matters, no doubt about that. And you got 2 strong-willed and strong-bodied men out here trying to impose their will on the other.
Well, and that's the fun part. I mean, we had this matchup 2 years ago on Big Ten Plus, and to watch how these wrestlers that are still in the team for both of these teams have developed and grown into their bodies as we head to period number 2 with no score at 165 pounds. Stoney Buell and Tyler Lillard.
Yeah, Buell's career has been interesting at Purdue to watch. He came in highly touted out of Dundee, Michigan. Great high school program up there, Southeast Michigan. But sort of had to change his style almost completely. The way he wrestled in high school was different than what Purdue expected out of him style-wise. That took some time to adjust, and he's only now coming into his own here in his redshirt junior season.
A huge mat return from Tyler Lillard. No points awarded. Lillard trying to work around Buell there. Buell fighting him off with that right hand. Roll through.
Good thought there by Lillard. Buell just barely able to roll all the way through. I like that loud mat return earlier, but defensively for Buell, he stayed compact. He didn't give up a worse position than he had at the beginning.
Well, and you talked about that earlier on in the first half, not allowing position on the mat returns. And Buell does a good job there. Still no points awarded. Coming up on a minute to go, period number 2. Been a stalemate here between both these wrestlers at 165 pounds. Both getting near the scorer's table over there. Buell sprawled out, trying to hold off the charging Lillard. And they will stand back up. .41 seconds to go, period number 2. 97-point differential, you saw there on the screen there. And the escape for Buell as he gets point number 1, but at what cost? It looks like Lillard might have gotten poked in the eye on the escape there.
Yeah, it looked like he caught a stray finger there, but he wants no injury time.
1-0 Stoney Buell earning the escape point, 30 seconds to go. Period number 2. Lillard does hold the riding time with 1 minute and 21 seconds, so something to keep an eye on there with Buell only getting the 1 point. Collar and elbow tie, middle mat. Both wrestlers jockeying for position, looking to get a leg up here. We will head to period number 3, a 1-0 score. Lillard will start period number 3 from the bottom. Buell on top. See the boiler suit guys out here in full this evening, usually seen lurking around Mackey Arena during men's basketball games, but coming out here to support the Boilers here this evening. Saw them walking up Northwestern Boulevard earlier. I was like, man, that's exciting having the suit guys at the game tonight.
Yeah, you know it's big. Like you say, you know it's big when they're here.
What do they do? What do they do for work?
Man, I think they go to sporting events for work.
I want that job.
No doubt. Oh, wait, you've got that job.
Buell working. Nice job there by the sprawl from Lillard. 1 point escape awarded to Lillard, so we're tied at 1 now. Minute and 44 seconds. Period number 3. Lillard does have that ride time, so does have a 1 point advantage right now, but Buell could get that ride time under a minute near the edge of the mat, near the Boilermaker bench.
Yeah, it was very important for Lillard to get out quickly there to save that advantage, that 1 point ride time advantage. Now Buell has to shoot. He's got to score here because he is behind.
Technically down 1 here. Minute and 20 seconds to go, period number 3. A big moment here in this matchup. Who is going to gain the upper hand on the other, both in this matchup and in the team event? Lillard backing Buell up. Quick movement from Lillard, and he gets the 3-point takedown after the pass by of Buell.
Brilliant move by Lillard. He saw how much throughout the match Buell's been leaning in, lots of leverage, lots of momentum forward. Lillard gets out of the way. Ole, 3 points.
4-1 now, under 40 seconds to go, period number 3. With that 1 minute of ride time as well, Buell's gonna need to get a takedown and the escape here. Under 30 seconds.
Strong side ride there by Lillard.
Hoosier fans chanting for Lillard. 1 point escape for Buell. Coming up on 10 seconds. Buell shoots the single. Shoots the blast double, but they're too close to the edge.
7 seconds. Stall call on Lillard. Smart by Buell. As soon as he knew he wasn't getting it, he rolled out of bounds.
4-2 is the score, under 5 seconds. Buell shoots, Lillard sprawls, and time will expire. And Tyler Lillard puts the seatbelt on and gives the Hoosiers an advantage, and Lillard gets his 5th straight ranked victory.
Great win by Lillard. Really nice move. Good respect by those two men who probably haven't seen the last of each other, if we're being honest. They might see each other again this season. They might see each other a couple times next season.